All right, so today we're diving into something pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Seduction.
Mm-hmm.
We got some recordings you sent over from this course.
Yeah. A course on seduction techniques.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they're pretty out there.
Some of it's very interesting. Very bold.
Yeah, like this instant kino thing.
Oh, yeah.
What is that about?
So instant kino, this is the idea that as soon as you meet someone, you should be initiating physical touch.
Right away.
Like right away.
Hugs.
Kisses on the cheek?
Yeah, kisses on the cheek, exactly, like almost treating them like
You
already know each other.
Yeah, like you've been dating.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
For years.
It's about setting this frame of familiarity and intimacy right off the bat. And that's supposed to sort of like shortcut the whole getting to know you process.
I mean, it makes sense from the perspective of getting over that initial awkwardness.
Sure.
But is it respect,
Yeah,
though?
but is it genuine?
Yeah.
Like, that's the question, right?
Yeah.
Is it just a tactic or is there some actual heart behind it?
Right, and the recordings actually start off by
Yeah.
talking about the mindset
Oh, absolutely.
that a seducer needs.
The mindset is everything they say.
Yeah.
Like, you have to believe you are the prize.
Like everyone wants to be seduced by you?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Everyone wants you are the best choice. And it's not even just about thinking it.
Oh, so it's like more,
Oh, it's about embodying it.
that's just confidence.
It's deeper than confidence. It's like this unshakable belief in your own desirability and,
And that everyone wants to be
projecting that aura.
seduced by you.
Yes, exactly. It's kind of
It
like,
ties into some NLP principles, too.
oh, really?
Like self-confidence anchoring positive emotions to yourself.
Yeah.
It's like you're creating this self-fulfilling prophecy.
So it's not just about faking it till you make it.
No.
It's like you really got to believe
You have to embody it.
it.
And the recordings claim that women can sense that real confidence.
Yeah.
Oh, they can smell it out.
They can smell it out exactly, and they're drawn to it.
So, I mean, I get that confidence is attractive.
Yeah.
But
of course.
it can't just be about confidence.
No, it's definitely not the whole story.
There's going to be more to it than that.
There has to be more.
Right.
And the source does acknowledge that.
Okay.
Like building deep rapport.
So they do say that.
Oh, yeah, they're big on that.
Okay.
They talk about going beyond the superficial,
Really getting to know the person.
really getting to know the person, asking engaging questions, really listening to what she has to say.
So it's not just about, like,
Not just about smooth talking.
peacocking around.
No, it's about connecting
Yeah.
on a deeper level.
Understanding,
Understanding her values.
yeah, what she's looking for.
What she's looking for in the relationship, what her criteria are.
And they even give you a script to follow.
Right. They have this thing called the KO script.
The
Belly script, knockout script.
knockout script.
And it's designed to elicit a woman's values and then weave those very values into like a hypothetical future scenario.
So it's like you're crafting a custom-made
Like a custom-made fantasy.
fantasy. Yeah. How
So she's already picturing herself
is that
in this ideal relationship.
manipulative?
Well, that's a valid point. It's something to consider,
Yeah.
right? Like, where's the line
It's
between,
like you're just telling them what they want to hear.
yeah, tailoring your message to get the outcome you want versus genuine connection?
Right.
It's a blurry line sometimes.
Yeah. So you got the mindset.
Yeah.
You got the rapport.
Mm-hmm.
But then it seems like it takes this turn
Right.
towards being really strategic.
Yeah, strategic and almost like
Yeah. And they talk about using
Yes.
seductive language.
a playbook almost. Yeah, seductive language, loaded language, carefully crafted phrases
Hopes like
to subtly direct her thoughts and feelings.
almost like subliminal messaging.
Yeah. It's like planting seeds in the subconscious. Yeah.
Yeah. So what kind of language are we talking about?
Give you an example.
Yeah.
They suggest using the word continue a lot.
Continue.
Like when we continue this conversation later or when we continue this date,
Oh, so they're presupposing that
you're already presupposing that there will be a later,
there is going to be a continuation.
right, that the interaction is going to continue.
Yeah.
And they use a lot of other subtle language patterns like that.
Like you're being
It's almost like,
hypnotized.
well, maybe not hypnotized in the literal sense, but
Torture.
they're definitely trying to influence her thinking on a subconscious level.
Yeah, this reminds me of how like advertisers use language to make us
Oh, absolutely.
buy stuff.
It's the same principle.
Yeah.
They're trying to get you to visualize a desired outcome, to associate their product with positive emotions.
Right, like, imagine yourself driving this car.
Exactly.
Picture yourself on a tropical beach
Exactly.
with this drink in your hand.
Yeah. It's like marketing, but for
Marketing, but for relationships, yeah.
relationships.
It can be effective.
But it does make you think.
It does raise some ethical questions, right?
Where's that line
Yeah.
between charming and...
Where's the line between being a charming conversationalist and being manipulative?
Yeah.
That's something to think about.
Totally. So we've got mindset, we've got
Yeah.
rapport, we've got using language strategically.
Right.
What else is in there?
Oh, they get into this thing called pacing and leading,
Pacing and leading.
which is
It
basically,
sounds like a dance move.
it kind of is in a way.
Okay.
It's like you're guiding someone towards your desired outcome, but you're doing it subtly.
Subtly.
Yeah. So you start by pacing, which means matching their current state.
Okay. So like if someone is...
So like if she's leaning back, sipping her drink, looking a little bored,
I'm bored, yeah.
you wouldn't come in with all this high energy, right?
Yeah. Right. You got to match.
You got to match that energy.
The energy you could lean back to. You could comment on the music or even say something like, this place is kind of dead tonight, isn't it?
Okay, so you're acknowledging
Yeah, you're acknowledging her state,
the current state.
creating that rapport.
Yeah.
And then once you've established that connection, you can start to lead.
Lead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you might tell a funny story, introduce a more playful vibe.
Shift the energy.
Shift the energy, exactly. Lead her towards a more engaging and presumably seductive interaction.
So it's like you're meeting them where they're at,
Mm-hmm.
but then kind of subtly
Subtly, yeah.
shifting
the dynamic. And they have all these different techniques for leading from body language to telling stories.
stories.
Oh, yeah.
Now, how do stories play into this?
So they're big on using stories and metaphors to kind of indirectly introduce sexual themes.
Oh, so you're telling stories.
You're telling stories, but you're doing it in a way that gets her thinking in a certain direction. Subtly.
I mean, what kind of...
Like, let's say you're on a date and you want to create this sense of adventure.
Okay.
You might tell a story about a wild road trip you took with some friends.
Okay.
But you subtly lace it with references to, like, meeting attractive women and having close encounters. So you're not being, like...
You're not being overtly sexual?
Overtly sexual.
But you're planting the seed.
But it's in there.
It's in there.
Yeah.
And again, it raises questions about intention, right?
Yeah, is it genuine?
Is it genuine connection, or are you using these stories as a tool?
As a tool?
Yeah.
That's pretty sneaky.
It can be.
So we talked about the stories, but what about this Kino thing
Oh, yeah.
we were talking about earlier?
Physical touch.
Physical touch.
That's a big part of this whole approach.
Okay.
They believe that physical touch is crucial for building attraction and escalating things towards intimacy.
Yeah. So like that instant Kino, the hugs, kisses right away.
Exactly. They believe that by initiating physical contact early on, you're setting a certain frame for the interaction.
Yeah.
You're bypassing that initial awkwardness and you're establishing a more intimate dynamic right from the start.
But then beyond that initial context, what do they suggest?
So they talk about starting with light, playful touches.
Oh, okay.
Maybe brushing her arm when you're laughing,
Okay.
touching her hand while you're making a point.
Yeah.
And as the interaction heats up, they suggest gradually escalating the touch.
Oh, so it's like
Moving from her arm to her waist, her back.
gradual,
It's all about building physical intimacy.
building up the tension.
Exactly.
So are you supposed to like just go for it? Or-
No, they emphasize paying attention to her reactions,
Oh.
her body language,
So like if she pulls away,
If she pulls away, you back off.
you back off.
You got to read the signals, adjust your approach.
So it's not just a script.
It's not just a script, no.
It's more like
It's about being present.
a dance.
Yeah, it's a dance. It's about reading the cues and responding accordingly.
It's still pretty manipulative though, isn't it?
I mean, it can be.
Like using touch to try and get someone
That's a great question.
to feel attracted to you.
And it's one we should definitely explore further as we continue our deep dive into this material.
Yeah, so we talk about the mindset, the rapport, using language strategically, this pacing and leading the storytelling,
Right.
the touch.
It's a whole playbook.
Yeah, but where does it all lead?
That's a great question, and that's what will lead us into some even more fascinating
Oh,
and perhaps unsettling territory.
I'm ready.
Oh,
Let's do it. Okay, so where does this all lead?
well, it all builds up to the ultimate goal,
Which is,
seduction.
okay, but what does that actually mean?
The source is pretty explicit about it.
Really? Like, how explicit?
They say the ideal outcome is to escalate things quickly,
Quickly.
leading to sex on the first night.
Oh, wow. Okay, so no beating around the bush.
No, they're very direct about their objective.
So how do they suggest getting there?
Well, it starts with setting up the meet in the right location.
Oh, so like a romantic restaurant or something?
Not necessarily. They actually recommend places with a more relaxed atmosphere.
Oh, okay.
Like a bar or lounge with booths.
Also more of a casual vibe.
Yeah, dim lighting places where you can sit close to each other.
I see. So it's about creating an environment where things can escalate.
Exactly, an environment that's conducive to intimacy.
Okay, so you've picked the right location.
Mm-hmm.
You're sitting close. What's next?
Well, this is where all those techniques we talked about come in.
The pacing and leading.
Exactly. The physical touch, the suggestive language, the storytelling.
It's all about creating a mood.
Yeah, building momentum, keeping the energy up.
So when do you actually make a move?
They say to look for signs of interest.
Like what kind of signs?
Dilated pupils playing with her hair, leaning in towards you.
Oh, so like body language cues.
Exactly. Those are your green lights.
And then you go for it.
Then you go for it.
The kiss.
The kiss.
But even if she's showing signs, wouldn't it still be kind of awkward to just go for it?
Well, they have a technique for that, too.
Oh, really?
They call it the triangle gaze.
The triangle gap.
Yeah, you look from one eye to the other and then down to her lips,
Okay.
holding her gaze for a few seconds at each point,
Like a hypnotic gaze.
and then you slowly lean in and kiss her.
Wow, that's pretty intense.
And they emphasize making it a good kiss.
Oh, so not just a peck.
No, a real kiss full of passion and confidence.
Okay, so you've had the kiss. Things are heating up.
Right, and that's when they suggest proposing to go somewhere else.
To go somewhere else, like where?
Back to your place, her place, a hotel, it doesn't really matter.
Oh, so you're moving things along pretty quickly.
The goal is to capitalize on the momentum.
But what if she says no?
They actually address that.
They do.
They say if she says no, don't give up.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
go back to kissing her, make it even better than the first one.
So even if she says no, you should keep trying.
They argue that women often say no initially as a form of token resistance.
Token resistance, what does that even mean?
It's like a way of not appearing too easy.
So they're saying she might actually mean yes.
That's their claim.
I don't know about that one. That seems a little presumptuous.
It does raise some questions about consent.
Yeah, because just because someone doesn't say no doesn't mean they're saying yes.
Exactly. You always have to be respectful of boundaries.
Absolutely. But let's say for the sake of argument that she does agree to go back to your place.
Okay.
What happens then?
They say it's important to maintain that momentum.
Oh, so keep the energy up.
Yeah, keep the physical contact going, hold her hand, touch her arm, maybe even steal a kiss or two.
So you're building anticipation.
Exactly.
Okay, you get to your place, then what?
They recommend having everything set up in advance.
Like what kind of setup?
Clean apartment mood,
Yeah.
lighting some music playing.
So you're creating that seductive atmosphere.
Precisely.
So no scrambling around at the last minute.
No, everything should be ready to go.
So by this point, they're saying the woman will be ready to...
To take things to the next level.
Wow. Pretty calculated.
It's a very strategic approach.
And honestly, it kind of makes me uncomfortable.
I understand, and it's important to acknowledge that this approach has its flaws.
Yeah.
It raises some serious ethical questions.
Yeah, because just because you can do something doesn't mean you should.
Exactly. And I think we need to explore those ethical considerations a bit more,
Yeah.
because this whole seduction playbook might be fascinating,
Yeah,
but we need to think about the consequences of
Yeah.
using these techniques.
I think that's a perfect place to pick things up in part 3.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, so we've really gotten into the nitty-gritty of this seduction course.
Yeah, we've gone pretty deep.
And I gotta say, I have some mixed feelings about it.
Yeah, I think it's important to take a step back now and
Yeah.
consider the ethics of it all.
Because just because something works
Right.
doesn't mean it's right.
Exactly. And some of these techniques feel a bit iffy to me.
Yeah, like this instant kino thing.
Yeah, that one's pretty out there.
Like, where do you draw the line between confidence
Hmm.
and manipulation?
That's the big question, isn't it? And I don't think there's an easy answer,
Yeah.
but I think it comes down to intent awareness and respect.
Okay, let's break those down. So what do you mean by intent?
Well, what's your motivation for using these techniques?
Yeah.
Are you genuinely interested in connecting with someone?
Or are you just trying to get them into bed?
Or are you just trying to score points?
Yeah.
Like, if you're just going through the motions, people
Yeah.
can sense that.
Like you're not really being genuine.
Exactly. And that's not a good foundation for anything meaningful.
So you got to be real about it.
Yeah, authenticity is key.
Okay, so what about awareness?
Awareness is about paying attention to the other person,
Yeah.
reading their signals, respecting their boundaries.
So it's not just about saying the right things.
It's about being present in the moment,
Yeah.
responding to what they're saying and doing.
Like noticing if they seem uncomfortable.
Exactly. You got to read the cues,
Yeah.
adjust your approach.
Okay, I get it. It's like a dance.
Yeah, it's a dance.
You got to be in sync with your partner.
Right. And that leads us to respect,
Okay.
which is foundational to any healthy relationship.
Yeah.
It means valuing the other person.
Treating them with dignity.
Exactly.
So even if someone agrees to go on a date, it doesn't mean they're consenting to everything.
Absolutely. Consent is an ongoing process.
You always got to check in, make sure everyone's comfortable.
Right. Communication is key.
You know, this reminds me of those videos online where guys try to kiss random women on the street.
Oh, yeah. The kissing prank videos?
Yeah, it never ends well.
It's so disrespectful.
They're just treating these women like objects.
Yeah. They're not even seeing them as people.
And that's where things go wrong.
Exactly. When you prioritize your own desires above someone else's well-being,
Yeah, you're crossing a line.
you're crossing a line.
So after all this, what's the takeaway for our listeners?
Well, I think it's about being mindful and intentional.
Yeah.
Persuasion and influence are powerful tools,
Yeah.
but they need to be used ethically.
So don't try to manipulate people.
No, it's about building genuine connections,
Communicating clearly.
respecting boundaries.
Being authentic.
Exact.
Treating others with kindness and consideration.
Well said.
You know, even if you're not interested in using these techniques,
Right.
just understanding them can be helpful.
Absolutely. It makes you more aware.
Yeah, you can spot these tactics when they're used on you, whether it's in advertising or even your own relationships.
Exactly. You're more savvy.
So it's been about more than just seduction.
Yeah.
It's been about understanding human interaction,
Right.
the psychology of persuasion.
And the importance of ethical communication.
Well said. Well, this has been quite the journey.
It has
A lot to think about.
Yeah, for sure.
I hope our listeners got as much out of this as we did.
Me too.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Thanks for having me.